want you to admit that Ricky Stanicky does not exist.
Hey, mas yes!
Hey guys, Society Reviews here with my review of the film Ricky Stanicky. Some ideas are better left on paper. I understand that in a pitch meeting, a film about three childhood friends who create their own imaginary friend that takes the fall for all their bad deeds has a lot of potential in the realm of comedy. However, when it comes to the latest film from Amazon Studios, this is a film that sounded great on paper yet fumbled every step of the execution. Ricky Stanicky is a story about three friends who create their own myth of a kid named, well, Ricky Stanicky. After a Halloween prank leads to the boys accidentally setting their neighbor's house on fire, the boys create a fake identity to take the fall, and it actually works with the police. 20 years later, the trio continues to use Ricky as an excuse to forego all their life obligations. Zac Efron, who plays Dean, is dating a journalist but doesn't want to take his relationship more serious than it needs to be. The character of JT and his wife Susan are about to have a baby shower, however he really doesn't want to be around. And the character of Wes is basically just a gay stoner who doesn't have anything going on in his life but he wants to write a children's book. Take that as you will. The men lie about Ricky having cancer so they can go on an impromptu trip to Atlantic City. However, while the guys are partying up, Susan goes into labor early, which forces them to return home and miss the birth of their child. To protect themselves from the lies they've told over the last several years, they hire a failed actor named Rod to play the role of Ricky Stanicky in order to protect themselves from the backlash. However, when Rod is too good at playing Ricky, the group is forced to think of a plan B as their lies can no longer be contained. Ricky Stanicky is an idea that is stretched out for 2 hours of a movie, but the plot is lost very, very quickly. John Cena is in the film fresh off his humiliation ritual at the Academy Awards, and once again the former pro wrestling star finds himself in a self-deprecating role played up for laughs. Cena plays a failed actor who does masturbation cover songs in Atlantic City to make ends meet. When he's bumming food and drinks off of bartenders, Cena plays the lowest of the low in a popular gambling town, yet somehow is the only serviceable part of this movie. The entire premise of this movie lives on bringing the character of Ricky to life in a way that makes him believable to the family and friends of our three characters. The problem is once we get the payoff of the characters pulling off their big con, there isn't much left to the story. The film slogs through 80 minutes of writers trying to figure out how to keep the movie going and still manages to go on about 30 minutes longer than it needs to. This is a film with 6 credited screenwriters. You heard that right, 6 people were needed to write and complete this film. The question of how many monkeys it takes to screw in a light bulb can be replaced with how many incompetent comedy writers does it take to craft a subpar streaming service film. There just isn't a lot of meat and potatoes to this movie. Zac Efron, who takes a short break away from his more dramatic roles, plays the straight man to John Cena's over-the-top wackiness. The film doesn't require him to do too much, which allows him to coast through most of the movie. The other two characters aren't given much depth. Andrew Santino plays a foul-mouthed, irresponsible father who provides pretty much nothing else but a few F-bombs along the way. Jermaine Fowler is in the movie for the sole purpose of marking up Amazon's diversity and inclusion quota as he plays a gay man whose plotline has no bearing to the story whatsoever. But he does give Amazon a good grade when GLAAD does their studio responsibility index, rating them on how many gay characters they had in the movie. This film simply isn't funny. At best, this is a Saturday Night Live sketch that gets stretched out to a 2-hour runtime. Laughs are few and far between, and at no point does this film feel polished when it's all said and done. Ricky Stanicky is a waste of multiple talents due to the sole fact that this film couldn't find one person out of the 6 to write a film that at least gets a chuckle out of the audience. I give this film a 1 out of 5.
I've been cold turkey in the booze. Ricky Stanicky's in the program, remember?
Oh, Rod.
It's not what you think it is. It's just piss.